Okay, everybody, today we're taking a look at Digimon Fusion's Dorulumon. The elephant in the room out of all three of them, I must say. This is part of the new Digimon Fusion series, brought over here from the Japanese version, Digimon Cross Wars. You can see Dorulumon in there. We can see what he's supposed to look like. Come on back here and you can see Shoutmon, Ballistamon, which I've reviewed already, and Dorulumon right there, all combined to make Shoutmon times 4. If you'd like to see those two reviews, you can go down in the description below. I put links there for that. If they're not there, just go somewhere on my page. You'll be able to find them. They are recent. Next up will probably be Greymon and Male Bergermon, and he does come with a card, which you can use with the Fusion Loader. And that's pretty much it. He is pretty much awkwardly packaged in there. But let's open him up and take a closer look. Alright, so I was going to start this off with him all together, but this is basically how you get the figure when you open it up. It all falls out pretty much like this. These are the only pieces that are put together. So starting off, you're going to want to take this shin here with the foot, and you want to combine it with the other half. You'll see that at the top of it, it forms a ball joint basically for his head. So there's two little tabs behind it, and then you tab the ball joint together. Next up, you want to take Shoutmon times 3 or 4's head, and peg that right behind Dorulumon. No, you cannot rotate it and hide it even more because his crest blocks the way. So you want to angle it down like that, and then while gently squeezing this together, pop it on the ball joint behind his head. So there's that. Next up, you're going to want to come back here, and you have a leg. This will go in the front. The foot with the ball joint on it will always be in the back. That goes for the other side as well. So far, so good. Now you have this crotch piece and this tail piece. Pop those ball joints together. Come under here, and you can see there's two right there. You want to make sure that the angle of the crotch here is facing pretty much the bottom. Pop those in, and you're done. You have officially assembled Dorulumon. Alright, now with Dorulumon assembled, he does come with a card, just like the rest of them. This can be used with the Fusion Loader. But yeah, you got a cool picture from there. Digimon Fusion on the back. Still have yet to decide if I'm going to pick up the Fusion Loader, but oh well. Now onto Dorulumon. And this is what I meant by he's the elephant in the room compared to the others. This is the figure that they pretty much had to make suffer if they were going to make Shoutmon times 3 or 4 look as decent as it does look. Because if you can see, he's entirely too wide, basically, and the legs here are just completely showing. I mean, there's no hiding that those are feet. Now, I get the idea that it's kind of going along with his mane here, so that kind of does work. But to me, he's just basically too wide. It's accurate. These are supposed to be sticking out of it. But as you see on the side of the box, it's kind of supposed to be more angled. And you couldn't make it that accurate and perfect without affecting how Shoutmon times 4 is going to look. So I really can't blame him for that. Now, everything's ball jointed just like the rest of the figures. So, oops, that came off easily. This can rotate around like that. You know, forwards, but the leg's going to get in the way. These can rotate fully around. The head's on a ball joint, but can only go left and right a little bit, and barely up and down. Nothing else other than the tail here. You got all these ball joints here, so you can really angle this any way you want. If you want to lay it down like that, or up, I mean, but this is always going to be sticking out here, because that's just part of that crotch piece that pegs behind there. Now, just for a size comparison with the rest of the figures, I'll put out Dorulumon, bring in Shoutmon, and then Ballistamon. And these are the 3 of this wave that are going to make Shoutmon times 4 and 3 for that matter. And here's Snarl from Transformers Animated, just so you can see the height of all these guys. So they are smaller than Deluxes. Shoutmon is the closest, even though he should be, in fact, the smallest. But other than that, let's get down to making Shoutmon times 3 and 4. So you're going to want to start off with Ballistamon. What you're going to want to do is take off his head here, and pop it over his left shoulder, and up like that. Next, you want to rotate the shoulders upward, rotate his feet around, and then pretty much flip him this way. You can take off his forearms, and for some reason, oh, there we go. I didn't have it in fully. That's why it fell out so easily. Pop off his forearms, and now Ballistamon is all set to go. Next up will be Dorulumon, which is going to be the rest of the body pretty much, since all you need is the crest and the sword from Shoutmon. What you're going to want to do is take off his tail, separate 2 of the joints of that, and bring those to Ballistamon, and you can reattach this to the tail now. With those joints, you want to attach them to Ballistamon's arms, and then attach them back again into Ballistamon's shoulder pads. Next, you want to come over here and you want to take off the head. Once you do that, you can come back over to Ballistamon and pull out the Shoutmon head, pop that up top here. And the way you know the head from the waist piece is that the head has a collar basically, as to where this circle just continues completely around on the bottom here. Then you want to take Dorulumon's head and attach him to the other shoulder pad. I really hate how those holes right there show, so I always rotate those around out of focus. So now we're starting to form a body here. Next up with Dorulumon, you want to separate this from the crotch piece. Separate these. Take off this. And now in the show, let me get all these pieces out here. The back legs and the tail. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now in the actual show, obviously these are the legs of Shoutmon times 4. And you can see that it's actually supposed to be like this. But the ball joint's there, so you can't really see the paw. But these legs are supposed to be sticking out there. And someone had mentioned that on the Japanese toy that was inaccurate. It's there, but you see you have this gap here. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be barely showing. It's supposed to be right up against the leg. But even though that is show accurate, I just don't like that. So they did engineer a different way. And if you turn this around, you can see there is a little slot here for the ball joint. And there's a clamp in here to clamp the leg. So you're going to want to clamp those in. And that will make the back of his leg more stable. Pretty much act as stabilizers. Do the same thing with the other leg. These are the front legs, by the way, of Dorulumon that are attaching in here. So you can pop those in. Next, you come over here, and you want to remove the back legs. I'm sorry, the back paws from the back legs. And yeah, for some reason, we got 2 different browns here. Don't know how that happened, but whatever. Come over here, and you want to flip this back. Make sure this is arced down and not arced upwards, if you can see that. And you're going to want to attach each one to the side here of his back legs. Like that. And you want these holes here to be facing forwards. If you don't, you're going to have a really awkward shaped leg structure for Shoutmon times 2. Alright, pop those in, rotate them. Pop those around and rotate them. So if you notice, you took 2 pieces of the tail and the head off of Dorulumon to make those portions. The whole rest of the body and the legs and the feet and everything is basically becoming the legs. Alright, now going up a little bit, you're going to want to rotate this upward, move the tail out of the way so that this hole is exposed for the joint. And then you can basically just sit the rest of the figure right in there. It'll pop right in. For the last portion of this, you're going to want to take off Shoutmon's crest and peg that right on. And that's basically it. You have completed and made Shoutmon times 3. Oh, and it's not over yet. Hours of fun. Add the sword, and now we have Shoutmon times 4. Overall, guys, I think the final product here looks absolutely awesome. Aside from one thing, and what I've mentioned in Shoutmon's review, is how large this chest piece here, which was the crest of Shoutmon. And that you also have an entire Shoutmon left. So basically, you spent $8.99 for a undetailed sword and a crest. An oversized crest. Which is why I don't understand why he was so big. There was no need for that crest to be that large, but what are you going to do? And the only other extra pieces you have lying around, which you could, attach to the ball joints here. And they are loose and will fall, so if you want them to be kind of accurate with the paws sticking up, I guess you could stick some scotch tape in here and then attach the ball joint. but I prefer not to do that. I like it actually without those legs sticking on the side. But yeah, a pretty cool looking figure. The back is a little bit hollow, such as Dorulumon was. There's nothing you can do about that. But he just is a great looking figure. So because of this, I do understand why Dorulumon's actual mode had to suffer to make Shoutmon times 4 look that much better. Now for me personally, I think this looks better than the Japanese version for the Shoutmon times 4 factor, or times 3. The individual figures, I'd have to say Dorulumon's Japanese counterpart was better, as well as the sword was better, Ballistamon, you know. But this final product is just very nice, and I absolutely recommend to pick it up. I will be getting the Greymon and Male Bergermon set. This is kind of like Zord Builder, only with Digimon. They all have ball joints all over. You can combine and connect them all different ways. But it really does truly look great in this final mode here. The arms, I mean, you can rotate them. It's the same articulation basically for Ballistamon at the arms here. And this is very loose. I have to tighten this up. And you do have the option of actually having this stick out like that, or against the body, or just straight up. I personally like leaning it straight back. You can kind of see the head a little bit better, in my personal opinion. But it is what it is. The arms are on ball joints there. They can all rotate all different ways. The legs are a little tricky because, I mean, he can bend at the knee, but these horns here for Dorulumon's back legs get in the way. So you're going to have to angle it like that, and that I really have to tighten up, but I don't feel like it's like he has the ball joints and the articulation, but it's just not possible because of these simple spikes right here. I truly love this, guys, and I would absolutely 100% agree to tell you to go pick this up in your Target the second you have the chance, especially if you're a fan of, obviously, Digimon. These are great toys, and I'm not disappointed. My only major complaint is that Shoutmon, it was so large and gave us this giant crest. That's really it. And real quick, I'll just do a retransformation back into the 3 normal Digimon for you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this review of Dorulumon from the new Digimon Fusion TV series. If you're watching this, it's at popculturenetwork.com, youtube.com/popculturenetwork, or over at my channel, youtube.com/MrTFPrime. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it, comment down below, and let me know what you think of these new Digimon Fusion figures, and I'll talk to you guys later.